G'day and welcome to SA Weekender. I can't believe it's already our last show of the year, so I thought to celebrate, I'd cook up some of my favourite summer recipes. And then I thought, summer, seafood, why not come to the far west coast and get some of the state's best? So here I am. And to keep the holiday theme going, the rest of the team has plenty of surprises in store. An iconic Adelaide pub celebrates 25 years of live music. Kelly set sail for some serious summer fun.
You gotta do this. It's not as hard as it looks.
But first, Michael's on the cherry trail.
What's round and red and heralds that Christmas is just around the corner? I'm not talking about Rudolph's red nose, I'm talking about beautiful cherries. There's nothing better than having a bowl of cherries on the table, so I thought today I'd come up and pick my own. Lenane Orchards in the Adelaide Hills is just one of about 25 spots you can visit on what's called the Cherry Trail. Come cherry season, which is around mid-November until late January, the producers put out the welcome mat, and you can go along to buy fresh fruit right from the shed door or pick your own. G'day there, David.
How are you, Michael?
Good. Oh, very well, thank you. Yes, and you must be Rusty. Heard
Yes,
all
that's
about
Rusty.
you. Hey, David, how many hectares have you got here?
It's about 7 hectares of cherries, about 42 acres of orchard in total.
It's pretty steep. Do we have to walk up there?
No, we'll put you in a buggy, we'll drive you up. All right.
It's quite a climb to get up to the trees, but the buggy ride is all part of the service. David and his family have been on the property for 13 years, and with 5,000 trees, they're kept very busy. The cool winters here are just what this fruit needs to thrive, and over 90% of the SA cherries come from the hills. Now, David, how do you pick a cherry?
Well, the right way is from the top. From the top of the stem, you just grab the top and give it a little twist, and you want it to come off just like that.
That's it.
The whole lot. That way you don't do any damage. In here's next year's fruit buds starting to develop.
Oh, okay. So
the top of the stem.
last thing you want to do is to damage that.
That's right. If you pull that spur off, then there's no cherries grow from there next year.
And here's another tip. Leaving the stem on also extends their life, so don't take them off until you're ready to eat them. Now there's one.
Now there you go, Michael. I expect at least 15 kilos an hour.
15? You're not serious. Is that right? Is that what a good picker can do?
Yep, minimum.
15, right, so well, I've got 3 in there. That's 4. Do they do it faster?
Kilos, not cherries.
There's no way I could even hope to match the skill of a professional picker. And I seem to be taking so long, Rusty's even fallen asleep. Wow. I need a cherry. Sustenance. But there's no limit to how many you pick, and the price you pay per kilo is way less than in the shops. What about the ones that just stop and eat?
Oh,
Cherries by the tree. How do you weigh them?
Yeah. We have had a lot of people joke that we should weigh people on the way in and the way out. Yes.
Being outdoors and enjoying the fresh air makes this a wonderful family-friendly activity. And it's also a terrific way to show little ones how food is grown. And when you're ready for a break, there's also a cafe where you can enjoy delicious homemade cherry jam, cherry ice cream and cherry pie. What a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. I reckon the sign on the wall says it all. Hey, I've had a great day up here at Lenane Orchards. It's at Montacute. It's about, 20 minutes out of Adelaide. It's not that far at all. Come up with the family, go pick the cherries, have one of these cherry ice creams. We've got cherry milkshakes. It's all here. If I don't see you before, have a very cherry Christmas. For more information about Lenane and all the other orchards along the Cherry Trail, just visit the Cherries SA website. They even have a detailed map you can download too. So why not grab one and go?
Coming up, celebrating 25 years of live music in Adelaide.
It's a Friday afternoon and legendary Australian singer Mark Lizotte, otherwise known as Diesel, is running through his sound check in a performance space known by many Adelaideans who like to see their favourite artists up close and personal. On any given night, this place is rocking, as punters live the dream, belting out favourites to anyone who'll listen. Hazy normally confines this one to the shower, but I must say I was impressed with his performance at a recent Choir at the Pub event, organised by a venue that's been living the motto, live and local, for 25 years now. Back in the 70s and 80s, Adelaide had a very vibrant live music scene, but many venues closed with the advent of pokies. But there's been a long-time supporter of live music here at the Governor Hindmarsh Hotel, or the Gov as it's known to its legion of fans. Adorning the front bar, the array of instruments and posters attest to this venue's commitment to live music. But for many years, the owners, the Tonkins, were simply looking for a pub big enough to accommodate the family's vision.
Our family have had pubs for generations, and in the 3 or 4 pubs leading up to the Gov, we always had a lot of live music. We just never had a big enough room. Our parents had a vision to build a venue that gave something back to the musos who'd supported them over the years.
The Tonkin family owned a pub in Portland, Victoria, and it was a haven of sorts for Melbourne musos, especially the folky set and blues legends like Dutch Tilders.
Going on a journey.
By the 70s, Melissa and Joe's parents, Brian and Vivian Tonkin, were on their way to Adelaide.
Great things were happening. In the late 70s, Don Dunstan was Premier and Adelaide was a pretty happening place. We moved into the Bridgewater Hotel and started having a lot of live music and went from pub to pub.
The Bridgewater Hotel played host to emerging bands like Red Gum, and in typical Tonkin style, the community benefited with more than just music.
Mum and Dad and Denny saw the passing out parade.
Ash Wednesday happened when we were at the Bridgewater Hotel, and a lot of people were losing their homes and being sent down to the pub, which became a real community hub. And a lot of musos got behind raising money for those people who had lost property, Red Gum being one of those. We had a big bushfire benefit concert, and we became firm friends with Red Gum from there.
The Tonkins family pub crawl ended here in 1993, when the Governor Hindmarsh Hotel on Port Road came up for sale. And the family, true to form, decided to buck the trend as pokies swept across the local hotel landscape.
It was a deliberate choice. We had a big room, we could have stuck it full of pokies and all be retired now, but we're big lovers of live music and really enjoy going to concerts ourselves and wanted to create that environment for other people to come to.
The Tonkins may be a little poorer after turning their backs on pokies, but Adelaide's music-loving public is certainly the richer. Dan Sultan will be playing at the Gov on December the 14th, and former Red Gum founder John Schumann and Shane Howard of Goanna fame are playing songs that changed our country on December the 16th. For tickets, visit thegov.com.au.
After the break, quick and simple summer seafood. I'm in Smoky Bay on the far west coast, and we're at the time of year where people are having friends around, you're entertaining, and I know that can be a little bit stressful for some of you. So don't worry, I've got 2 recipes to show you that require no cooking at all. Couldn't be easier. I always say that what you cook is only as good as the produce that you use. And here in the pristine waters of Smoky Bay, they've got some of the best seafood anywhere in the world. Luckily, I know a few local oyster farmers, and they've got me some absolute beauties for my first dish, oysters with coriander and chilli dressing. We're gonna start off with a couple of things. We want the zest and juice of a lime into a little bowl here. And we wanna go in and squeeze as much juice as we possibly can. We're gonna go in with some chilli. I reckon for our vinaigrette here, half a chilli will be heaps. Just gonna slice that up. Next one we're gonna go is some ginger, and ginger has a kind of a subtle heat to it. It provides a really fresh flavour in a dish like this. Next, I add about a tablespoon of coriander stems. They are packed with flavour, a little brown sugar, and a splash of fish sauce. Give it a stir and you're done. Now, when you're displaying oysters, you can do it on crushed ice, but then you're sort of against a time limit because it's going to start melting away. I quite like using rock salt here. Okay, so oysters are laid out. From here, pretty simple. Vinaigrette goes on. You want about half a teaspoon or so on each one, because we still want to have that natural flavour of the oyster.
Garnish with a few lime wedges and coriander leaves, and there you have it, my oysters with coriander and chilli dressing.
And I tell you what, for a recipe that's taken about 3 minutes, I reckon that is the perfect entertaining dish. Now I'm going to cook another seafood that Smoky Bay is absolutely famous for and that we all love, King George whiting. Now, I know a lot of us have had it in every way under the sun. I don't know if we've all had it sashimi before, and that's exactly how we're going to do it now. We're going to do it raw with a little buttermilk dressing and a fennel and grapefruit salad. So, I've got my beautiful King George whiting already sliced here onto a plate. You can get that done nice and early, have it in the fridge before people come over, and all you need to do is assemble it at the last minute.
The salad couldn't be simpler. Just finely slice some shallots, Lebanese cucumber and fennel, and then cut a couple of ruby grapefruits into segments.
So really simple dressing on this salad. Lemon juice and a splash of olive oil, roughly equal parts. Want to keep it pretty fresh. Good extra virgin olive oil, of course.
For the buttermilk dressing, it's simply 1/3 cup of buttermilk, a squeeze of lemon juice, a clove of garlic, and a glug of olive oil. A quick stir and spoon it over your finely sliced whiting.
Perfect. Okay, so now salad can go on, and you do want to be really delicate here. I'm just gonna mound it up a little bit. Get a little bit of height.
And last but not least, sprinkle on some pink peppercorns and fresh herbs.
So there you have it, another 5-minute dish. And what I love about this is that when the weather's hot, you don't want to spend long in the kitchen. So they're both no-cook dishes, means you can spend more time hanging out with your mates, less time cooking for them. Please give these recipes a go. I know you're going to love them.
Next, setting sail for some serious fun these school holidays.
On a beautiful day like today, there is nothing better than being by the water. And it seems I'm not the only one that thinks so. Here at Seacliff, I'm surrounded by everyone having a blast. So today, I'm joining in on the fun. It's Saturday morning and the Brighton Seacliff Yacht Club is a hive of activity. These kids are learning to sail and are divided into groups by their age and skill level. The youngest are the tackers, 7 to 12-year-olds who are taught the basics where the focus is on fun.
Boom comes across, ready, boom's coming across, duck under, swap sides, sit down, awesome job. How good was that, guys?
Sailing pro Brett Yardley started when he was just 8. Proof this is a sport you can enjoy for life. His philosophy? If you make it enjoyable, students will pick up some great life skills along the way.
We try and make sure the kids have a lot of fun every time they come down. We want them to come back next week. They learn teamwork, resilience, perseverance, but they also learn how to set their own limits. If it's too windy for them, they can choose not to go out.
What do you love about sailing?
Because all my friends are here, and when my friends are here, I love it because every Saturday I can come here and my friends are here.
Well, I just love how it's such a physical sport and how you could just show up any time and you can just start sailing and you can travel around the world if you're skilled enough.
First position, hop. Second position, hop. Third position, hop.
Kids up to age 15 transition into Optimus dinghies, fondly known as Opties. Stable with a light boom, they're what many Olympians have learnt to race on.
I love all the people involved in it and just how fun it is, and it's great to be out on the water.
And how often do you go sailing?
Every Saturday for training and races in the afternoon.
Someone who's taking his racing to the next level is the 2017 Youth Sailor of the Year, Quinn Orick. Quinn is a state Optimus champion and has even raced in the Worlds.
In Sydney, I qualified for the Asians in Sri Lanka, and last year in Adelaide, I qualified for the Worlds in Thailand, and then this year I went to Cyprus. I just like freedom. You can just sail by yourself when there's nothing else going on, and there's no one to tell you what to do and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Now, if you're feeling a bit envious of the kids having all the fun, don't be, because there are classes for adults too. This group is taking part in an introductory weekend and most have never sailed before. First, Brett takes them through some basics on land.
Changing sides there. Keep turning a bit further. Oh, other way, a little bit further. Straighten up and tack complete. Well done.
After some hoisting, tacking and jib practice, it's time to get them in the water. I can't believe they're not only staying upright, but are absolutely flying along. Getting out of the office cubicle and into a boat has got to be a fantastic stress buster.
First of all, a bit nerve-wracking, not really knowing what to expect, but Brett's tutelage was exceptional and we got straight on the water.
Fantastic. How does that feel, getting on the water for the first time?
Excellent. Beautiful day as it is today. As you can see around, everybody's here as well, having a great time, and the vibe's fantastic down here, so loving it.
Okay, after that rave review, I'm going to give it a try for the first time myself.
Tiller in your backhand, get a good grip on that, and okay, you want to turn left, push it away, not too far.
Oh!
And back in the middle, and you're going in a straight line now.
Okay, this would be like a massive adrenaline rush, I think.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
By adrenaline rush, I actually mean I'm freaking out.
Now we're going to tack, so push the tiller away hard. Nice turn. Okay, changing sides.
You gotta do this. It's not as hard as it looks. Mind you, I've got a good teacher. I've had a fantastic day on the water, and it seems the instructors get as much joy from it as their students.
Just those adults this morning, they might be a little bit nervous and apprehensive, and once they get out there and they're moving through the water, they just smile and give you the thumbs up, and they're just loving it. It's just a good feeling. Kids and adults. It's just what I do.
As well as Seacliff, there are many other sailing clubs along the South Australian coast. To find one near you, learn to sail courses and school holiday programs, head to the Discover Sailing website. You can even register for a free Discover Sailing Day. You don't need your own boat, just a sense of adventure.
Well, I'm sad to say that was our last show of the year. This has got to be one of the best jobs in the world. We get to travel around the diverse regions of South Australia, seeing amazing sights and meeting incredible people. Thank you so much for being part of the adventure. Starting next Sunday is our favourite series, which is full of some of the best stories from across the year. On behalf of the team at SA Weekender, have a wonderful Christmas, and we can't wait to see you again in the new year.